Hello Internet, welcome back to our Magiclysm playthrough. In the last episode I said I would transfer our things into this vehicle, which is what I've done. All of our stuff that was valuable is here now. This vehicle sucks, it's really bad. The solar panels are in bad condition, the batteries are not charging properly, and these seats should come out for some additional storage. So I really hate this vehicle, but it's what we have, and that's what we're going to be rolling with. Also said we would be taking some mutagen in this episode. I was thinking about it. I actually really don't like the idea of taking mutagen. I forgot to take robust genetics, and I think if you don't have robust genetics, it's literally like a 2/3 chance of bad things happening, and like a 1/3 chance of something good. So I actually hate that mechanic in this game. I think it's one of the worst mechanics, to give your players a flat 2/3 chance of having a negative impact over a positive impact. And force you to take a trait just so that you have a better chance of mutating properly. So I actually really hate the mutation mechanic, and because I didn't take robust genetics, we're not going to be doing a lot of mutation. I just don't feel like dealing with it. It's a load of crap. But we are going to take, I promised we would take some, so I'm going to take the cattle serum and hope for the best. You gain a mutation called hooves, and our boots are destroyed. Okay, I mean, okay. I like hooves in the game. They give you a kick attack when you're in melee range. Problem is we're using a reach weapon, so it's never even going to trigger. Obviously, we can't wear shoes anymore, which is a problem for our feet, which are now cold. I'm not a big fan. I don't like. Okay, I mean, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. When did we get fast metabolism? Acquire more food than most people but recover stamina faster. I don't remember having that. When did we get that? Did we mutate from irradiation? Did I just miss a message somewhere? I feel like I wasn't fast metabolism before. Whatever. All these I remember taking. Did I take slow reader? I don't remember doing that either, but I probably did. Because it's like free points and whatever, and I wanted more points. Fast metabolism, though, I don't know that I ever would have taken that. Also depressants, which I guess is from our mutagen. Anyway, yeah. So I moved all of our stuff out here, installed some CBMs, which didn't give us bionic power, which kind of irritated me. I realized that in between episodes as well. And then I was thinking, before we leave, there were some spiders. Spiders, turret, toilets, autoclave. There are some spiders around here somewhere. Spiders. We're gonna head over there because I was feeling pretty bad about our current food situation, and I thought, oh, it might be prudent to just go up here and loot a bunch of houses so we have more food. But I really want to loot the other lab before too much time passes and those monsters start to upgrade. So we're going to be heading to the lab, but before we do, we're going to kill some spiders to give us a day or two worth of food, just so that we have a little bit of extra food. I mean, we have junk food. We're not going to starve to death, but especially now that I know we have fast metabolism, we need a lot of food. We're at normal weight. We were getting messages about feeling empty, so we do need to eat some stuff with some significant calories. So where were the spiders? North. Okay, going to be careful again because of turrets and things. Flashlight, peek. Okay, I think they were in this one to our south, so we will close this. I just want to shoot them, I think, because they're so annoying to hit in melee. We're just going to, yeah, just ignore the web spider. Get our aim up. We don't even need to crit it. I mean, if we just hit it at all. Is it just the one? What is this? Cobwebs. I guess it was just the one. Of course I walked into the webs. So go ahead and butcher the yeah, we'll just quick butcher because we don't really have access to the others. Fat 2. Okay, not as much as I would have liked. We'll take the chitin as well and the sinew, and we will head out to leave. Actually, we should probably cook this before we leave, since we already have wood and things here that we're just going to be leaving behind anyway. Oh, did I go down? I didn't mean to go down. Go back up. Get back up there. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Head back up. head up the stairs. Swap back to the rebar as well. Rebar. I'm not real keen on wasting the auto shotgun rounds. However, we're most likely going to be using the battle rifle in the future anyway, so it doesn't really hurt to use the auto shot rounds. We have like 55 rounds. I emptied all the clips. We are leaving behind some guns, but I took one of everything that's relevant. We did skip the Scar H because I took the one that was 223 ammunition over this one. We are leaving some books behind that we had duplicates of, and I did unload everything. Apparently I didn't unload the makeshift guns, so that is a little bit of extra ammo. Oh, and we need a pot, which we took out to the vehicle in order to cook our meat and things. So we'll do that. We will cook this, and then we will be on our way. I'm not sure we'll be mutating anymore. I'm just so nervous about mutations that I don't really want to risk it. We will drop everything in our unsorted pile, which is mostly full. We will get a pot. Actually, that's in the tool pile, which is this pile here to our north. Pot. Take a pot, and we will head in and cook our meat. Yeah, our warmth is a little not so good on our torso. We need to address that. We could remove the undershirt, but that doesn't help our arms. Are we wearing arm guards? We're not. It's literally just the turnout coat because there's no warmth on the elbow guards. So that turnout coat's 30 warmth is putting us up at high. I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're in the sun and it's daytime. I don't really know how the weather affects things like that. Splintered wood, drop it in the fire, start a fire. Start a fire. Start a fire. There we go. And we will cook some meat. We will cook. Can we make palmini? They're the thing I usually make that extends their day, their shelf life just a little bit. Let's go. What is it? Component, chunk. No, okay. Chunk of meat. There we go. Curry with meat we can't make, requires so much stuff. Meat soup, no. Dehydrated, no. Sloppy Joe, no. All these require things that we don't really have access to. We did have tortilla chips, but it wouldn't extend the shelf life any further than a day. So we're just going to cook all the meat. We're probably not going to be able to eat 10 whole. I hear a lot of shooting. I don't know if that played for you or if I edited it out, but I just heard nonstop shooting and zombies dying, so I don't really know what's happening. It's happening again. From below you, like it's just the zombie death sound over and over. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. I'll try to edit some of that in so that you can hear how weird and awful that was. Anyway, we also want to make the cracklins while we're here. We'll make two crack. It's happening again. I don't know what the sound is. I'm gonna try to ignore that, but it's hard to focus on anything but that. Take the cooked meat and the cracklin. Let's just wait a minute and see if it does it. Heard bang. Ignore. It sure does. Okay, so we're just gonna leave. That's so weird. I don't know what would make that noise repeatedly like that. So we're going to, we might as well eat some. So much calories. We eat full 1,600 calories of that. This is our food pile. We're going to keep these in our inventory, otherwise I'll forget we have them. And we will try to drink something. We'll drink some fruit juice to slate our hunger. We're actually tired as well. It might be prudent to sleep, because once we get over there, we're going to have to pickaxe down the wall. It might take a long time, which could also inhibit our ability to craft a bed and things before we would be exhausted. So we will sleep. I also think we should take the blankets with us in case we have to manufacture a bed ourselves. So we will spend a little time sleeping. We need to wear our earplugs because God help me if I'm going to listen to that noise all night long. So we will sleep. This should also take our hit points up a little bit more. Oh, it's so nice to not have a cold anymore. Isn't that amazing, viewer? My audience, don't you love that? Aren't you glad that we're no longer dealing with a cold? I'm going to drink some of my raspberry tea. Everybody hydrate. So what else is going on with me? Literally nothing, because I have a very boring and mundane life. I've been thinking about writing a lot. You know, it's one of those things that, so historically, these last 3 or 4 years or so, I basically don't write at all. And then, like, once a year, I would sit down and write a book, like a full novel, 60,000 plus words of a story. And I think that 3 years ago, I wrote a book, and it was okay. I really liked it at the time, but in hindsight, it wasn't very good. Then, like a year and a half ago, maybe just a year ago, I don't remember now, but I wrote another book, which was much better. I really, really enjoyed that book. Still think it's pretty good. I haven't reread it in a long time. Usually what happens is I write it, and then I'm like, oh, I love this so much. I'm going to go edit it and make sure it's nice and shiny, and then we're going to go and try to get it published. And then what happens is I start rereading it, and like, I like it. The book is good, but like, I suck at editing. So basically, rundown of how these things usually go if you don't have an editor. You write what you're writing. Usually that takes a long time. For me, I usually write a full novel in the course of, I don't know, 6 weeks or so, because I have a short attention span. It's kind of hard for me to focus in on things, but that's pretty reasonable. A lot of people take months and months or years to write a book. I don't do that. I just go for it, and usually bang it out pretty quickly, and everything's fine. And then once you're finished writing, you do what you call a macro edit. Basically what you do is you spend a little time away from it. You don't want to do this right after you write the book. You want to take a break for a couple months and kind of get some distance from it. No, don't sleep. That was the wrong button. Let's drive this baby over to the other lab. And then you start working on a macro edit. A macro edit is where you reread what you wrote and you try to, from a very broad perspective, pick out what you like and dislike. So like, you want to identify, okay, what characters did as I was reading this, who did I like? What characters did I not like? What characters, did I think needed more development? What plot elements did I not really like? Or such and such got in an argument, and then, you kind of expect them to be bad at each other, but in the next chapter, they're immediately all lovey-dovey again. It doesn't really make sense. I should change that. The big stuff, macro, from the broad strokes of the book, you go back and you look at what needs to be changed and what you did and didn't like about it. And again, during this time, you also try to put yourself in the shoes of your audience, because you want to, let's say I'm writing a book for young adults, and then in my editing, I realize like, oh man, there's a lot of kind of violence or sexual comments or whatever. Then it's like, oh, maybe this isn't the best thing for that particular audience. I need to tone this down. So that's what we call a macro edit, which is again, very broad strokes, tends to be fine. I'm usually fine with doing macro edits. I, in fact, like them because I like reading my own work. I'm going to go with a pickaxe. That is not the tool pile. This is the tool pile. Grab the pickaxe. And we're going to do the same thing. Once again, this is a big rectangular building, square building, whatever. Turret's going to be in this middle location, so we want to crack in at one of the corners just to save ourselves some grief. So we're going to kind of in the way here, tree. Okay, well, it's double thick, so it doesn't matter. If we come in here and then we pick here, there will be a wall here which will block sight, and then we can peek into this, which will give us eyes on the room. So we'll pickaxe in here. Yeah, so very broad strokes on what you do and don't like about the book. I like macro editing. I really like rereading things that I've written, because what usually happens is while I'm writing, I end up feeling like, man, this is getting kind of too long or too wordy, or man, this kind of sucks. And then when I go back and read it, I'm like, wow, this is actually really good. And I'm super excited to have something that I made be so good, And I really enjoy that. And then apparently we dropped our crowbar at some point. Crowby, which we're going to wield. It should be easier to smash these things now that our strength has restored. Our intelligence is 10 of 11. Why? Is it the radiation? Intelligence 1. Oh, a pain. Oh, we're in pain. Let's eat some aspirin. From mutating, I guess. Wield the Crowby. Did I do that? I did. Smash this. Don't embarrass me. I just said it should be easier. Oh, we didn't bring planks. Son of... It's so far to go back. Oh, that's such a problem. Man. Come on. Give me a break. Plank, please. Plant fiber, you misled me into thinking there was something there. Plank, no. Oh, this sucks so bad. I mean, we do know the road is clear, so it's not like we can't go back. But we lost 2% battery charge just from that drive. Oh, it sucks so bad. Okay, we're going to go back for some planks. I mean, we could just jump in the hole and pickaxe, but, like, that deals damage to every body part, and I don't want to deal with it. And there's nothing else we can use. Is there anything else you can cover this with? Pit or rage? Pitterage? It says right here. I don't know. Oh, it's combining with the coverage menu. That's interesting. How do you fill a pit? Pit. Fill pit with dirt. Requires soil and a tool with digging of one or more. Okay. Wait until we catch our breath. Go grab a shovel. Entrenching tool. And dig a pit over here. Activate dig pit here, which should give us soil about an hour. I mean, I guess it's a pit. Should give us soil 51. So we need to dig like 4 pits in order to get enough dirt to fill 1 pit. Okay. I mean, it's so much work to do this. Of course, it doesn't clear your filter. How do we... Oh, activate the entrenching tool. Dig pit here. Ensure it is clear, diggable ground with no items or obstacles. I don't know what that means. Activate tool. Dig pit here. Deposit excavated material. Oh, okay. So it literally digs on the tile you're standing on. Okay. This is going to take forever. This is kind of annoying. Probably should have just driven back to the... place to get... Stop doing that. Activate the tool. Deposit there. Probably should have just gone back to get a plank, but I just don't want to do that. 100 soil. Okay. Apparently takes up a lot of space as well. Don't need to carry all this stuff that we're carrying. Gonna drop... This is the unsorted pile. We'll drop... We don't have space for this stuff. We'll drop them here. Hopefully I remember that they're there. Syringes we don't need. No, we'll keep those. They go on a different pile. Syringes, pot. We'll keep the pickaxe, keep that. And then we will drop the weapons and stuff as well. Don't need a Remington. I apparently had it favorited. That's why it didn't drop. Hopefully we have enough space. Okay. So let's do this again. We have 100 soil. I think we need 1 more pit. Activate entrenching tool. Dig pit here. Deposit there. Yeah, so MacroEdit is fine, no problem. Like MacroEdit, not a big deal. Why is it always slightly less soil? And why is it so huge? This is ridiculous. Okay, we're going back to pick up some planks. This is absurd. The amount of soil that you require in order to fill that pit is absurd compared to the amount of soil that you get from digging a pit. I thought this would be a much easier conversion. For now, we will just drink some stuff to get... quenched, and we will eat the remainder of our cooked meat before it goes bad. So we've eaten tons of calories today, no problem with that. And we're going to drive back, which is a real hassle. But, okay, because screw me, I guess. MacroEdit is fine. After you do the MacroEdit, however, you do the MicroEdit. This is where you go pretty much line by line and say, okay, you know what, the wording, like some stuff you'll catch when you do the MacroEdit, like when you reread things. If you find like, oh, you know, the wording is a little funny here, I should change that. Or like, let's say we're having a conversation and we're talking about, I don't know, potatoes, for just as an example. And then I use the word potatoes like 6 times in this paragraph. I would rather, you know, throw in some other words so that we're not saying potato, potato, potato. Just little stuff like that that kind of optimizes the quality of the writing. And so that's called the MicroEdit. That's where you go line by line. Hey, this particular... apparently we've forgotten some of these tiles. I don't want to plow into anything. Let's stop and just hoof it. I don't want to drive into something. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. That's the MicroEdit. You go line by line, pick up the grammar, pick up spelling errors, make sure that everything is exactly the way that you want it to be. 36 whole planks. We'll take 2. Let's take more than 2 in case I screw up something and then have a real problem. We'll head back here. We'll drive back over for the second time. Okay, just back it up. And I hate doing micro edits. I'm kind of bad with grammar. I tend to write the way that I speak out loud, which is not grammatically correct. Oftentimes, for instance, I have a real problem with commas. I tend to overuse commas. When I was a kid, I remember in my 7th grade history class, my teacher would have us read things out loud. And a lot of the kids were really bad at reading out loud. And he told them, whenever you see a comma, that's a pause. You should pause briefly when you read a comma. And then when you read a period, you pause for a slightly longer period of time. So when I write, if you haven't noticed, when I talk, I actually... Oh, it's the LMOE shelter. We've already been there. When I talk, I pause kind of a lot. And so when I write, I have this idea in my head that I should pause every time I pause, because I write like I speak, I should put a comma. And that's often completely wrong. Like I use commas way too much. And in the micro edit, I have to deal with all of that. And that's really frustrating because I just don't care. I enjoy writing. I don't enjoy editing, right? I don't enjoy the picking apart of something that's been written. I like the creative process. I like creating a world that didn't exist before. I like creating, characters that have these beautiful story arcs and complicated backstories. That's the stuff that I love. It has nothing to do with grammar or editing. I like to create, which is not the same thing. So, minus 36 on our feet, and there's literally nothing we can do about that because we have hooves. So that's a real problem. I don't know if you can wear socks over hooves. You would think you'd be able to, but I don't know if Cataclysm works that way. It probably just prevents you from wearing any footwear at all. Is there anything that fits mutated anatomy? Mutated anatomy performs well. That's not what we're looking for. I don't know if it just means we can't wear a certain encumbrance on our feet or if it means we can't wear shoes at all. We're going to look at this when we get in here. We're going to see about making some foot wraps, for instance, just to get a little bit of warmth on our feet. Abnormally large enough to accommodate a normally large mutated anatomy. So presumably that would work. Cannot be as oversized. Does not fit me. Why not? I have hooves. You would think they would fit. Anyway, we would try to make socks or foot wraps. We'll address that once we get inside here. For now, let's wield. We are wielding the crowbar. Let's smash this open. We will place a plank. Yes, fantastic. We will activate our little scary flashlight. We are safe here. Okay, turret in there. So that's really a problem because that means we cannot go in here. Actually, I think we could flash our flashlight in here, locate the turret, and then fire at the turret. Are we still flashlight off? Why are we still glowing? Okay. Flashlight on. Check. No turret. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles to the left of the door. Okay. So if we shoot that tile, turn off the flashlight, wait a few turns for the light to go away, wield the auto shotgun. I don't know if this will work. Oh, I should save. I don't save scum in my normal playthroughs, but I've never done this before. We're just going to do it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. So directly ahead of us. Oh, we can't aim there because it's dark. Whatever. Let's just aim as long as we can. Good hit. Does that mean it's dead? That's not what I wanted to activate. Activate the flashlight. Oh, we totally did it. Great. We are still going to turn off the flashlight because God help us if there's a second one in here. Okay, good. Interesting. So you can shoot 100 9mm rounds. I mean, we're not using 9mm, but we totally should. In fact, I should have used a different weapon for that because we have all this pretty worthless ammo that we're never going to use. So a pair of socks. Can we wear a pair of socks? Hooves mutation prevents you from wearing your pair of socks. That is unfortunate. We're going to move in here for the time being because we are chilly on our feet and we don't want to have to deal with that. Still at negative 37. Oh, I didn't bring the brazier. Oh, God. I'm not driving back over there. We didn't bring the brazier, so unfortunately we cannot make a fire here. So we can't get warmth to our feet at the moment, which is really, really bad. We don't have the ability to make a brazier because we don't have any sheet metal. And that's literally the only fire-containing source that I can think of. Brazier, oven, no, stove, hobo stove. It's not really what I'm looking for. Tin cans and tinder. Improvised stove used for defrosting. Yeah, that's not helpful. So I guess we're just going to get frost nipped. I mean, we could make rags. We could make those foot things, foot wraps, foot rags. Not really what I'm looking for. 2 encumbrance, 5 warmth, leather foot wraps, fur foot wraps, wool foot wraps. We just don't know if they even work. So let's just make these really quick and see if we can wear them. You can wear the rags, so we should be able... So we should be able to make the wool or leather foot wraps. We do have an abundance of clothing, so we're going to look through our clothes here. These are not clothes, these are armor items. Head up here, we do have a sweater for wool pieces. We do have really no leather though, huh? Peacoat, are you wool? You are. We're going to take the peacoat and the sweater, and we are going to disassemble them into wool, and then we will make some wool foot wraps for our character's hooves. Flashlight on, drop the clothes, butcher the clothes, cut up we don't want to cut up everything, I think destroys things. Sweater gave us 7 felt patches, that might actually be enough. Wool foot wraps, yes, please make those. And we will wear the foot wraps, which will take our cold feet up to negative 20. Oh boy, so warm. You think of randomly lighting a fire but decide against it. I mean, we could go set some of the forest on fire just to get a slight mood buff. I don't think we're going to do that, mostly because arson is wrong. And we're going to turn off our flashlight. We do have foot wraps, that's great. We can drop the socks. Oh, we didn't pick up the socks. Don't know why we're carrying a pillow. Actually, probably brought that from the other base. We really don't want to sleep on the ground floor or on the main floor so much, so I think we will be heading down into the lab. Thought that would give us more warmth on our feet. Negative 20 is not good, but it's also not the worst it could be. So I think we'll just focus on pickaxing through here at the moment. We're going to step over here to do it, just so that if there happens to be a turret there, which there shouldn't be, then we wouldn't, get murdered immediately. So, yep. Anyway, micro-editing sucks, and I hate doing it. And there are people you can pay to do that. If I tried to get published through a mainstream source, they would provide me with an editor. The problem is that most places expect some level of professional writing. So, like, if I took a really rough manuscript to them, they would kind of have a problem with that. They wouldn't necessarily... I wouldn't be very high on their list of people because I would be somehow less than them because I don't use proper English all the time. So you kind of need, people will tell you like, oh, you don't need an editor in order to get published. You just send them your manuscript and then they'll get you an editor, which is true. But mostly they want mostly edited manuscripts already. So it's not the best thing for someone like me who struggles with the proper English side of things. I've never claimed to be really good at English. I just enjoy writing. I enjoy telling stories. I enjoy working through a plot and character development and things like that. So, kind of need to have a little bit of some editing. And you can pay people to do it. You know, you can find freelance editors. It's just that it usually costs you like, I don't know, $1,000. Because most people only want to edit short manuscripts. They don't want to edit a novel length thing because it just is much more work for them. And I'm pretty sure most of them just plug it into something like Grammarly anyway, which is an automatic grammar app, which I would use. But they actually record everything that you post. So like if I go on Grammarly and have it check my manuscript, one, a lot of what they comment on is style, which I really hate. Please don't tell me to have a different writing voice. I think that that's really crappy of you. And number two, it actually makes note of everything that it processes. So some server somewhere has my entire manuscript on it, and I hate that. I hate the idea of that. Odds are good they're not going to abuse that and try to steal my writing, but it's not about that. It's about, I don't want you, it's none of your business. Like, I'm paying you, you know, what is the point of this app if you get to decide? Like, it's just not, has nothing to do with it. Why do you have to know what I'm writing? You know, why do you have to make note of my writing and everything? It should be a simple application that uses an algorithm. Of course, I really hate these freaking generators. They hit you through walls and things all the time. So we probably will make our base on this floor. However, if we make a base on this floor, we have to, every time we come up here, we'll have to cross by the stupid generator, which I don't like. I suppose we could go somewhere else, dig in upstairs and plant a ladder and then make another way to the surface. I think that works. I don't know if I'm really smart enough to do that though, functionally, or not. I don't want any of that. Let's you're right in my face, Spider. I don't suppose we're still wielding the auto shotgun. No, we'll just rebar it. I mean, we do have protection. It's just that they're hard to hit. Okay, 2 spiders. Let's grab this corpse and get it out of the doorway. No. Yes. It's not dangerously close. You lied to me. Let's close that door. Let's mark spiders so that we know. And then we will butcher this one for additional meat. There we go. More meat and fat and chitin, which is great. Sinew as well. Kind of still need a place to set up our base, though. Let's... we don't want to be close to the generator because, like I said, they will shoot you through walls. There's just literally just a room back here. Okay? Let's head this way. Being very careful to avoid turrets and things. Also, just another weird little back room. Okay, gummy vitamin. Fine. Not really finding a place to live. Don't want to have to walk over to the generator again. We could pickaxe through the wall, but it's not really worth the time investment. Kind of want to turn off our flashlight in this room as well because there could be stuff hiding in a corner somewhere that could blow us away. Not real happy about using that, although it probably would have seen us by now. Okay. Be real careful because this is where we got shot in the head last time, in that weird water area. And we'll check this stuff. See what we got. Clean water, no. Glass jar, no. Flask, no. Ether, yes. Ether can be used for anesthetic, which is very valuable. And then trash that we don't actually want. So we will head over here and we will check things out. Again, these big long hallways are dangerous because for all we know, there's a turret right here and we just can't see it. But walking out with the flashlight on would illuminate us enough for it to kill us. So we kind of want to be careful. Okay. Shouldn't have walked up there. I mean, honestly, if I was being smart, wouldn't have walked up there. Okay. More stuff. Probably going to call the episode here in a moment. What is this? Just a briefcase. Bandages we'll take. The cotton balls and the random powders and stuff aren't super valuable to me. The chemistry set, I think we already have one, but it's pretty valuable. In fact, should have called the episode a while ago. So for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with more Cataclysm in the near future, and we will continue exploring the lab, For now, that's going to do it, and I will see you in the next episode.